Welcome everybody to our Green Acres. I'm so glad you came over to our channel today. And if you are new to my channel, I want to introduce myself. My name is Teresa. In today's video, I'm going to show y'all lots of projects that I'm going to make with scrap wood, some pallet wood. I'm going to show you some fun ways to make some rustic style pumpkins. I'm also going to show you some new products I've received. I'm going to do some Iron Orchid transfers, and I'm also going to show you some new paints that I have gotten. So y'all stay tuned, and especially stay to the end, because I'm going to show y'all a really large wire-twired pumpkin, and it turns out really good. It's very large. So hope y'all enjoy the video. I hope y'all get lots of inspiration and ideas for the upcoming fall season for your home. If you haven't joined my Facebook home decor page, I'd love for you to go over and join it, and also go over and follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to, and also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Thanks so much. Okay, y'all, let's get started. Project 1 is going to be a huge twine pumpkin. Have you ever had a project and you thought it up in your head, you could visualize what you wanted to make, but you couldn't really decide how you wanted to make it happen? Well, this is that project. I don't know. I made some little wire twine pumpkins, and I just uploaded a video last week, and I'll link it below, of how I made some smaller ones. Well, I wanted to make a larger version of that little pumpkin. So this wired twine is listed in my Amazon store of what I used. You get it on a very large spool, and it will last you a long time. I've made several projects out of this. So I couldn't figure out, I needed something to wrap my twine around. You want to go around about 50 times. So I went outside and I got Ben's vegetable bucket. This is what he puts our garden vegetables in when he picks things out of our garden. I washed it up really good and I brought it in, because you basically want something big and round that's kind of solid to give you, you know, kind of a form. So when you wrap your twine around, it'll all be in a circle. So I just kind of attached it to the bucket. I kind of twisted it, and then I just started going around, and like I say, I went around 50 times. When you get to your little tail where you started, you want to just tie it off again with another piece of wire and clip that off. Now that's going to be one section. When I started building this pumpkin, I didn't realize how big it was going to turn out. I thought I was going to do one section. No, I ended up doing 4 of these. So you just do the same thing. You do it 4 times. So you just wrap it around your bucket, and you know, you tie it off when you get to the end, and then there is my second section, and you just keep building on to your pumpkin. Now when I had the 2 sections together, I just went on, and I'm just going to take some of that wire twine, and I'm going to start attaching them together in the center. And you just want to wrap your little wire twine around, you know, and twist it and just get a secure bond. And then you can just wrap it as many times as you want to. And if you want to make this look kind of decorative in the center, you can. You can also, if you wanted to, you could go over it with some twine. But I think it looks good like this. And at the end, when I get it all attached with all 4 sections, I'm going to go in with a little hot glue, and I'm going to glue down my little tails. Now that's what it looks like when I've got 2 sections. Now this is my 3rd section. And when you get your sections made, you just want to take them, you just kind of want to fluff them out a little bit and just get them going. And I think this turned out, I was so proud of this. When I got it made and it turned out so big, I was like, wow. Anyway, I went running outside with it. I was trying to find Ben, like, look what I made. Look how big this pumpkin is. And then we just kind of went outside. We found the perfect stem for it, and I'll show you that in just a minute when I get this all all fixed. And this is the 4 section, and I'm just tying it off really good, just securing it so it won't come apart. And then I'm going to attach it to my next 3 sections, and then the pumpkin will pretty much be complete. It took about 4 sections. Now if you want a fuller pumpkin, you can make, more sections. You can make as many sections as you want, just, depending on how full of a pumpkin you want. I kind of like to be able to see through mine a little bit, because you can always add little fairy lights to the center, and I have added those in the little ones that I made that's in the previous video. And you could also put greenery in it. This would make a great centerpiece for your fall table. You could leave this out for Thanksgiving even. Now here I am, I'm just kind of adding a little bit of hot glue to my tails just so they'll lay down really good and they won't be sticking out. And here it is. And now you just basically, you've got your pumpkin made. You just want to go around now. You just want to form it with your fingers and just get it, where it looks like a pumpkin, and you're just kind of going around and getting it in a circular shape. And then, like I say, we went outside, found a perfect stem for it, and add the stem and add a little bow for an embellishment. Project 2, we're going to start making some really rustic pumpkins out of some scrap pallet wood. I don't know if y'all follow Ben's channel, but you remember he branched off of this was our channel at one time. He branched off the first of the year and opened up his own channel. So mine would just be home decor related, but he does a lot of outdoor type stuff over on his channel. I have a link to his channel down below if you want to go out, support his channel and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps him out. But anyway, I don't know if y'all know, but he has retired, so you will be seeing Ben in a lot more of my videos, and me in his, because he is now helping me, with my channel. So he is going to make some scrap rustic pumpkins out of some scrap pallets that he has. He does a lot of work with his firewood business using pallets. That's what he stores a lot of his firewood inventory on to keep it up off the ground. So he decided to tear up some of the extra pallets he has, and he is showing y'all how he's going to make some rustic pumpkins. After he gets them made, then I'm going to show y'all how we can paint them up really good and how we can really embellish them and really make them unique and shabby chic style. So this is just a frame of the palette. He's using just really getting down to the scraps here. But I think this one turned out really good in the end. And he's just adding wood glue to each section. He's going to clamp it down till the glue dries. And then, like I say, this made a really cute pumpkin. Now, once the glue dried, I brought it in, and y'all, look how it turned out. I love this little pumpkin. Now, I'm going to paint this one with linen white. Now, my sweet friend Jackie over at Ruth and Ruby, and I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more about her throughout my video, but she sent me these beautiful transfers. She sent me a couple of colors of DIY paint and that awesome paintbrush. I'm going to leave a link below, so if you want any kind of the IOD design stamps, transfers, y'all, she has a whole storefront now. She's going to offer all of my viewers 10% off, and I'm going to have a code down below, so make sure to go out and check her out. She also has a YouTube channel of where she teaches you how to use all of her products. She started a business in her home and her garage, and she used her garage and worked out of that for 10 years, and now she has opened up her own storefront. How exciting for her. I know you will love watching her videos. She's got 2. She's actually got 3 little girls, I think, and they appear in a lot of her videos, and they are cute as can be. So I'm just taking, after I got it chalk painted and it all dried, I'm taking a transfer, and the transfers, y'all, are so much fun to work with. You just cut out the design that you want if you don't want the whole design, and you can take bits and pieces, you can overlay them, you can, and you just take your little scraper. Once you peel that little paper off, you lay your design down, and then just go over that little laminated paper that's on the top of it. Go over it with your scraper, and the paper will start lifting up from the transfer, y'all. It is so easy. I had so much fun this day working on all these little projects. Thank you so much, Jackie. So now I'm taking a new little script stencil that I purchased from Amazon. This will be in my Amazon store, and this will be under stencils. And then I'm just taking some black ink, Waverly chalk paint. Y'all know that's one of my favorites. I'm going over it with a stencil brush. Y'all, these stencil brushes are awesome too. These are also linked in my Amazon store. And I went over it and then peeled it off. And y'all, look how gorgeous this turned out. I'm going to put a pretty pumpkin stem on it. I'm going to hot glue it on. And then I'm going to add a little embellishment. I got this, I think, at a yard sale. You know, yard sales a lot of times is a great source to pick up little craft supplies. People may have given up scrapbooking or things that they were banking, and they'll throw it in a yard sale. So I got 2 of these. So this one fit perfect on this little project. Now, project number 3 is going to be another little scrap pallet wood project. We're going to make 4 of these, and Ben made them in different sizes. He's just showing you here kind of how he measured off his scrap pallet wood. This is very rustic. We kept it, we didn't sand it a whole lot. We just kind of left it the rough wood, and later on when we go to paint it, that rough wood, it paints up really good because you can just kind of go over it with your paint and you can still see the wood grain between, under it, which it makes it look really rustic and worn. Now he is going to apply wood glue to this, and y'all, his little wood glue bottle, it finally just busted and blew up. He's trying to work with it as best he can. So anyway, he's got it taped up, but that is like Elmer's wood glue. And then I had to keep this footage in because I give him instructions on what to go out and make to help me. And he kind of goes out on his own and does his own little crafting. And then every now and then I'll go out and I'll check on him to see how things are going. And on this day, he was making his little prototypes and working on his pumpkins outside. And he gets them all laid out. And when I went out there, y'all, I had to keep the footage in of how he clamps his clamping down system. And it's funny because this just goes to show everybody crafts, everybody does things differently. And I just had to keep this in there because I think this is so cute of how he uses. He got very innovative with his clamping system, but it worked. So once this one is dry, I'm going to take it, and again, I'm going to use some of the DIY paint. I don't know if y'all have ever used the DIY paint yet. I'm kind of late to the party. Jackie sent me this. This is the color Apothecary. She really got me to go out of my comfort zone and paint something different than white. And Jackie, thank you for making me do this because I absolutely love this color. This paint, I was very impressed with it. It goes on with a very smooth, good texture to it. It was easy to paint on. It layers very well. And I think I only did 1 layer of this. And I think the brush makes a huge difference too. I think good quality brushes make all the difference in the world. So I will definitely be using that brush in lots of my projects. I think it's going to be my new favorite brush. And remember, go over and check out Jackie. She sells all of these products in her store. And this is the stencil that's now my favorite. It's in my Amazon store. And I just added it with some burnt umber craft paint. And now I'm going to tie this off with some natural and some brown colored raffia with a little bit of twine mixed in. I'm just going to tie it in a knot, and then I'm going to add a really cute Sola flower to it using some hot glue, and this little piece is finished. Now you can use this as a pumpkin, or you can just use this, just as like, a decor piece in your home. To me, I think it really screams fall because of the grains. And right now, living in the South, a lot of the cotton and everything is coming to harvest time, and that just, I don't know, grains and stuff reminds me of fall. So this is like a larger size. Now I'm going to paint it also with the DIY paint, but I'm going to use, I think this color right here is kind of a darker khaki color. It's a beautiful color, and I think it's called something burlap. But I'll make sure to have the products that I use linked down below. And again, I'm using my awesome brush. Love this brush. And then I just go over it with 1 coat. I'm going to add the same stencil to it. I'm going to use Waverly black ink chalk paint. And y'all, I think this one turned out so great. And I'm going to embellish this one with a bow, and I think I put some cotton stems on this. But when you get these made, you can embellish these any way you want. Now, project number 5 is going to be another one. This one's a different size. We're going to do something a little bit different to this one. Instead of putting a stencil on this one, I'm going to use some more of those transfers. Like I say, I was having so much fun this day with all the things that Jackie sent me. And these transfers, once you get to using them, you just become obsessed with them. And here it is. I'm just cutting out little random pieces. In her video, she teaches you cut out what you want, and you can always go through and layer them and just, put them wherever you want them. Now, this one, I'm going to add several to it. I liked all these little, fall looking little, I think one of them looks more like a cotton stem, and one of them looks kind of like a fall looking daisy. And I just took the ones to me that kind of look like fall, and that's the ones that I'm going to apply to this little pumpkin. And you just peel the backs and you place it down where you want it, and then you just take your little plastic scraper, and like I say, you can layer them, and I layered these 2 little flowers together. And you just go over it with your scraper, and it's very easy. It doesn't take a lot of scraping, and you just scrape it until you see it kind of lift up, and then you just peel it off. Now, if some of your transfer gets left on your transparency, just lay it back down, get your scraper, and just go back over that little area, and that should help lift it up. Like I say, these are so easy to work with, and to me, they add such a great detail to your projects. I was so impressed. Now, once I got all my transfers on, now I'm going to show you how you can stencil over your transfers. I took that same script stencil that I purchased at Amazon. I'm going over this one with some white paint and just add a little bit of wording to it. And that is just how cute that turned out. Now I'm going to make a little X cross bow, or a little messy bow. We've made these in tons of videos, but you just basically get scrap ribbons and you just form them in an X, alternate your colors and patterns, tie it off really tight in the center with some twine, and you've got a great little rustic embellishment for your project. Now, I just always like to pull mine up and just clip off all my tails just so they're all even, and that kind of just makes it kind of give it that little poofy effect too. And you just kind of fluff it out with your fingers, and then I'm going to attach it with some hot glue. And I love the way this one turned out, and like I say, I love this apothecary color. The next project is going to be a little crate. Now, I featured this in a previous video where I stained it. This was originally a little, I don't know, it was like a little wine crate, probably had little wine bottles in it, and I stained it in my previous video. So now I'm going to chalk paint it. And while I've got my transfers and I'm transferring this day, I decided I wanted to get this little crate back out, because to me this screams a great little storage thing for pumpkins. So I'm going to paint it white. I'm going to put some stencils on it. I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to put some transfers on it. So we're really going to make over this little crate. And it was so easy. I just went over my base with my candle wax. I went over it with white linen chalk paint. I did a couple of layers. Then I'm going to take my plastic scraper. I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm going to give it some distressing. Now, once I get it distressed, now I want to add some stencil. Since these little slats are very narrow, I'm just going to have to take pieces of some stencils I have. Now, I love numbers, and I love those little French words, so I'm just going to put this right here, the number 45 for my number, and then up under it, I'm going to put that other line. I don't know what this says, so if you're French and you do know what it says, you can leave a comment below and let me know. And then I'm going to add a really pretty transfer to the ends of these. These flowers right here are so pretty. So again, I just went on my page, I cut out the floral that I wanted. I centered it on the end where I needed it, and then I just went over it with my little plastic tool, and I applied it. Now I'm going to add just a little bit to the bottom of it. You can see these little yellow flowers. I wanted a little bit more color to this, so I cut out a couple of pretty little yellow flowers, and I just layered those on top and put those on. Now for the other end, I'm going to kind of stay with the same same color family, and I just picked those out, and now I got this little stamp from Amazon, and I will have it linked in my store. I love little small stamps, and I love little script writing, and this has it all. So I'm going to just ink down my little pad, and this is also compliments from Jackie. Jackie sells all these little tools and products for the IOD stamps in her store. And so she'd sent me an ink pad, she sent me the ink, and I'm using gray ink, but look what a cute little stamp that is. And that just added so much detail to the ends of my little crate. And I'll stage it for you in just a minute. Now these little wood blocks, I did these in a previous video, so I'm going to repurpose these, and I'm going to make some little pumpkins out of them. So I'm going to take everything off of them, all the embellishments, and I'm just going to leave them white, and I'm going to leave them distressed. Now, Jackie sent me some really pretty clay molds. These are like keys and locks, and y'all, I love keys and locks. Jackie knows me very well. So she sent me these, and of course you just brush on some cornstarch before you start, so your clay will come out really easy. Now Iron Orchid Designs, they do have the modeling clay, the air dry clay. I've already used mine, but this is in my Amazon store. You can also buy it off of Amazon. So this is a brand that I had, and I've had it for a while. But when I got the Iron Orchid clay, I just started using it. So now I'm back to this package. So you just kind of warm it up in your hands. You kind of want to flatten it out, and then you want to put it down in your mold, work it down in your mold, and get it flat on the back side. Once you do that, and you've got it, all the excess clay off the sides, then just very gently with your fingers, just work the end of it out of the mold, and it should just come out really easy on its own. This little lock and key mold, I love it. So I'm just taking different designs off of it. I'm going to embellish my little pumpkins with them just to make the pumpkins a little bit unique. And I'm going to use like this little key and lock on one of my pumpkins. So I just took 3 different designs, really 4 different designs, and now I'm going to use some wood glue. That's what I have found that works the best at here my molds to my projects is wood glue. So I'll just put a little bit of wood glue on the backs of them, and I'm going to press them down, and then I'm going to paint them white. Now, once I got them glued on, I painted them. You do not have to wait for the clay to dry to paint. You do need to go on and apply your clay molds before your clay does dry, because it will adhere and go over the surface of your project better. So the glue doesn't take long to dry. I don't know, maybe an hour or 2, and the clay molds, I don't know, they usually take overnight. So but once I got them all glued on, my wood blocks, then I just went with some white linen chalk paint, and I just kind of brushed over them with some white just so they will match my blocks. And then I added some little wood stems and some little rustic burlap bows. Now my stems are just sticks from my yard. I hot glued them on, and then I added the little rustic bows. Now I took some nautical rope, the thicker rope, and I just kind of gently untwisted it, and I got little curly cues. So that is what I attached, just to kind of make those little tendrils of the pumpkins. So when you do your nautical rope, don't pull it apart, but just kind of untwist it very gently, and it'll kind of curl up like this. So I think these turned out really pretty, and I love those clay molds. So now I'm just going to let y'all sit back. I'm going to let y'all see how I style and stage everything, and just see how all the little fall colors and textures all go together.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old?
Okay, y'all, it's toward the end of the video again. The first thing I want to say before we end the video is I want to tell a big thanks to everyone that sent me birthday wishes. Last week was my birthday. Thank you so much for all the sweet comments, gifts, texts, messages, everything. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. And always remember, I always say at the end of my videos, the things you see in my videos that I make, a lot of those will be for sale at Stephen's Antiques. I'll leave his information down below. He will be happy to help you, so get in contact with him if there's anything you're interested in. And also, don't forget to go over and visit Jackie at Ruth and Ruby. And she has a discount code for all my viewers. Make sure to go down in my description box, get all of her information. I'm going to have her YouTube channel, her Instagram account, and her Facebook page. So make sure to go out, shop her business, and she will be happy to help you. And I asked her when I was doing this video what she named her little business after, Ruth and Ruby. I love her name. And she said it was her favorite lady in the Bible, Ruth. And she also, her favorite verse was Proverbs 31:10. An excellent wife who can find, for her worth is far above jewels. Thank you so much for challenging me in this video, doing my crafts, Jackie, and also for inspiring me to go to my Bible and look up that verse. It's beautiful. And thanks to all of you for watching my videos and for always inspiring me. I appreciate all your sweet comments, your friendship, and your support. And as always, y'all, I love y'all, and I will plan to see y'all in my next video. Have a great weekend.